Hi there, this is Super Senior Bert. Super Senior, as I've mentioned before, means I'm in my 80s. Well, I am 80. And I'm going to share a story with you that took place a long time ago with a friend. We were in seminary together in San Francisco, and we lived in Oakland. And I believe I was working with him at a youth activity where we stayed up all night. Can't do that anymore. And he had a Volkswagen back, the bug way back this is back in the 60s. And he had this red bug, a good little car really. And we were out in the San Joaquin Valley, not west. There's not much to drive west of Oakland and San Francisco. But we were east of Oakland in the San Joaquin Valley where there was nothing but mile after mile of hill and desert. Well, it was kind of semi-arid, I guess you'd call it. It wasn't desert. But mile after mile of nothing but more mile after mile. And we were bouncing along, and I do mean bouncing along this dirt trail. Now, prefix to this story, because we came up behind a jackrabbit. Now, jackrabbits are big animals. I've never seen one in Minnesota. I don't think there are any here in Minnesota, but they're a big animal compared to a cottontail or a snowshoe rabbit, many times bigger. They're like a medium-sized poodle. They're just huge, big long ears. And my dad used to hunt them in Kansas and Nebraska. And he always told me when a jack is running, if his ears are laying back along his body, his throttle is pedal to the metal. He's wide open. He's as fast as he can go. Now back to our story with the Volkswagen. We came up behind this jackrabbit, and he's running along in dirt road, and I imagine the Volkswagen's leaving a dusty trail behind it, bouncing along this dirt road. And we're coming up behind this jackrabbit, and he's staying on the dirt road in front of us, several yards in front of us, but he's running. But his ears aren't back yet. And he'd run and then jump, and then come down and run and then jump and come down, and there is dust coming off his, I guess you call them paws. And we just kind of pacing him. And I thought, I want to see if my dad was right. And I told Jimmy, I was riding in passenger, and old Jimmy he was driving his Volkswagen behind his jackrabbit, and I told Jimmy, push him, not the car, but push that rabbit. Didn't want to run over it, but I said, push him. And so, man, he's shifting down, and the dust is coming out from underneath that jackrabbit's paws, and he's jumping into the air, and then back down, and jump, run, jump, and then back down on the ground. The Volkswagen's going bouncing. We're bouncing, no seatbelts back then. We're bouncing all over the cockpit of that Volkswagen, laughing our heads off. I know we must be doing 30, 35 mile an hour or more. And I kept saying, Jimmy, push him. And he'd shift, we're bouncing, and the dust is flying from there. And all of a sudden, that jackrabbit's ears were laying down, laying flat on his back. So I told me that jack is going as fast as he can go. So, and once again, we didn't want to run over the jack. That's not funny. It's nothing, and it's rude. It's cruel. But we got within a couple of yards behind him. Now this is an open, semi-arid, no trees. And the other thing my dad was correct on, he said a jackrabbit can turn 90 degrees during a running full speed. He can turn 90 degrees on a dime. And I wanted to see that. Once again, we weren't trying to run the jack over. And I kept telling him, push him a little more. So we're bouncing up and down that jack. He's just up in the air and then down on the road, and his paws and dust from his paws, and he'd jump and down on the road. All of a sudden, to the left he goes, 90 degrees without slowing down, and I do mean a 90-degree turn. 90 degrees, and he's going off 90 degrees from us. I think it was back in the 60s. I think he's still running. And the Volkswagen, we slowed down and we were laughing so hard I thought we were going to hemorrhage. And Dad was right. When the jack's ears are laying back, he is full speed and he can turn, and this jack did as big as he was. Like I say, he must have been the size of a medium-sized poodle. Zap, 90-degree turn, and never slowed down, never went into an arc, just a 90-degree angle, and he turned. So I suppose that's how he kept alive. You know, the coyote can outrun him, but he can't outturn him. So that's a story going back to the 60s, and we were a lot younger then, did a lot of dumb things like going that fast on a dirt road. We could have hit something and rolled, but you know, you don't think of those things when you're young and dumb. But I will forever see that jackrabbit running in front of us, thinking he can outrun us, and all of a sudden, ears are laying down and zap, 90-degree turn, and he never slowed down. Like I said, I think he's still running. Anyhow, this is Super Senior Bert saying, catch you the next time around on the OMSH, Old Man Story Hour.